All right, good morning. Annette's back.
Hi.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Aloha. We'll talk more about that coming up. It's Monday, October the 7th. Here's what we're working on this morning. Today marks 1 year since the deadly Hamas attacks on Israel.
Florida preparing for what could be its biggest evacuation in 7 years as Hurricane Milton is set to make landfall.
And Fort FC just continue to win games and have officially clinched first place in the CPL Shield. Well. Hello.
Hi.
How are
I don't
you?
know what time it is. I'm like 6 hours.
Okay, so tell the class where you were.
I was in Hawaii.
And they are how many
6
hours?
hours
So
behind us.
6 hours behind us.
Behind us. Oh, yeah.
We got back over the weekend, so I don't know what time it is.
Good time?
Oh, awesome time.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Hawaii, Brian?
Never been to one.
Yeah.
No. Would like to go someday.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
You've been.
I've been. It is a trek to get there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but once you're there, you're just like, you're in this island in the middle of the Pacific
You don't want to come
Ocean.
home.
Yeah, right. Well, we're glad you came home. We're glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Good morning, Brian. How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, was up north a little bit, Lake Simcoe, and came back, and lovely day yesterday.
Yeah.
Have the leaves started to really change up there?
Yes, they're really coming along nicely, and I have been following because I guess the leaves aren't changing very much in Hawaii.
No.
So you might have we've been following the fall color reports, and we will give you an update on that. So yeah, the leaves are changing quite nicely, and we are going to have the sun to enjoy some of those leaves changing, but we could get a shower as well. There has been a little light shower go through the overnight, but we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds generally for the day today, but chance of a shower, it's about a 40% chance, and we're going to sit about 16 degrees today, and right now we're at about 12. So temperature will climb a little bit for the day, and that's kind of around seasonal for this time of year. We'll talk about it coming up, looking at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. Nothing to see there. That's just normal for this time of the morning. We have no collisions. We still have some lingering construction areas to our MTO traffic cameras. Here's Nikola Tesla Boulevard, Toronto bound away from us. Now Toronto bound on top of the Skyway Bridge, Hamilton side, coming towards us. Flipping ahead to Third Line in Oakville. Looks pretty good, just a little busier Toronto bound. Weather and traffic coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, the news.
All right, thanks, Brian. Well, today is October the 7th, and that marks 1 year since the deadly Hamas attacks on Israel that ignited the ongoing war in Gaza. I want to bring in Simone Gavros, who's joining us live in studios with details on this. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Tim. Well, ceremonies, events, and protests have been taking place all weekend long around the world and across the GTHA. Now, more closer to home, the Hamilton Jewish Federation is holding a community walk tonight to remember the victims of the October 7th attack last year. Now, the surprise assault caught Israel off guard, killing nearly 1,200 Israelis and taking about 250 hostages, according to the Israeli government. It happened during a major Jewish holiday, shattering the public's sense of security and shaking their faith in their leaders and military. The aftershocks of that day are still being felt 1 year later. Now, families gathered at the site of the music festival where more than 360 people were killed and others taken hostage. They lit candles for loved ones and honored their memories with photos and a moment of silence. Meantime, the Gaza Strip is in ruins. There are hills of rubble where apartment blocks stood and pools of sewage-tainted water spreading disease. Israel's year-long offensive against Hamas has killed more than 41,000 people, according to local health officials, and displaced nearly 90% of the population. Now, with no end in sight to the war and no plan for the day after, it's impossible to say when anything will be rebuilt. Experts say reconstruction could take decades. Now, police forces in the GTHA have been on high alert as the 1 year anniversary approaches. Hamilton police said last week that they are continuing to focus on areas around places of worship, schools, and community centers. They reiterate that there's zero tolerance for any form of hate or discrimination in the community. Annette, I'll send things back to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Simone. A new round of airstrikes from Israel has hit Beirut. Israel says it's targeting Hezbollah militants. It's also vowed to strike Iran following a recent missile attack. Now, Global Affairs Canada says it has helped over 1,000 passengers so far leave Lebanon during this latest round of fighting. It is urging all Canadians in Lebanon to get out of the country. More flights are being offered, with over 5,000 Canadians, permanent residents, and immediate family members wanting to leave.
A man is dead after a hit and run in Port Colborne. Niagara police believe he was struck while walking on Silver Bay Road south of Friendship Trail around 11 o'clock on Saturday nights. After he did not return home, his family found him in a ditch after they went searching for him early yesterday. Damaged vehicle parts were scattered nearby. Now, police are looking for a black 2006 to 2010 Jeep Commander with damage to the front left corner, as highlighted on the screen here.
Halton police have reportedly arrested a man at gunpoint in connection with a stabbing at the Oakville GO station. A freelancer of CHCH says it happened yesterday around 1 o'clock. A woman was stabbed and taken to hospital with serious injuries. We have reached out to Halton police for more details.
A man has been arrested following a disturbance on the West Hamilton Mountain yesterday afternoon. Hamilton police responded to the call in the area of Stone Church Road West and Upper Paradise Road. As a result of the incident, a man is facing multiple charges, including arson. Investigation is ongoing. Now, we reached out to police for more details. At this point, we have not heard back.
Toronto police say a 73-year-old man from Hamilton has been charged in an historic sexual assault investigation. They say he's alleged to have sexually assaulted 3 young people between 1978 and 2004. They say the assaults took place in Toronto and Mississauga. Police have released a photo believing that there may be other victims. The former lead singer of the Canadian band Headley has been found not guilty of sexually assaulting a woman in northeastern Ontario 8 years ago. Both the Crown and defense agreed that Jacob Hogard had a sexual encounter with the then 19-year-old woman in his hotel room in Kirkland Lake in 2016. A central issue in that trial was whether that encounter was consensual. Hogard, though, is still behind bars. He is facing serving a 5-year sentence on another sexual assault conviction. It was a case jurors in this latest trial did not hear about. Pope Francis has named the Archbishop of Toronto as one of 21 new cardinals. 53-year-old Archbishop Francis Leo has served as Archbishop of Toronto since March of last year. He is the lone new cardinal from North America. Leo says he's humbled and honored to receive the appointment and will continue in his primary role in Toronto. The new cardinals will get their red hats at a ceremony on December 8th. Researchers in London, Ontario are working on a treatment for people who have lost their sense of smell or have a distorted sense of smell because of COVID. A team at St. Joseph's Healthcare in London is conducting a study involving an injection of local anesthetic into an area of nerves in the neck. Their study involves 44 patients. One of the researchers says if the findings are positive, the team hopes it will help advocate for more access to this procedure.
Sportsline, and there are 2 football teams in Hamilton. One that is struggling through their CFL season with all signs of them missing the playoffs. The other are their roommates and have done nothing but win in the Canadian Premier League, and the Forge FC were back at it yesterday.
I love when goalkeepers are aggressive. Good ball, top of the box.
Becker to Jensen, deflects all the way through, and in a matter of moments, the Jensen-Becker connection strikes again.
That goal by Noah Jensen in the 35th minute in Winnipeg was the only goal Forge needed as Captain Kyle Becker picked up the assist as the 2 hooked up on 2 goals within the week. Forge, they beat Valor FC 1-0 and clinched top spot in the league standings. They will have home advantage throughout the playoffs, the CPL playoffs, and a berth in the 2025 CONCACAF Championship. The team's going to celebrate their first CPL Shield this Saturday after their match with Atletico Ottawa at Tim Hortons Fields. Let's go to the ice. St. Catharines, where the Ice Dogs had their home opener, and what can you say about Kevin He? Well, he had the game of his life for the Ice Dogs on Sunday. His first OHL hat trick. Add in 3 assists. He had a 6-point night and a 7-3 win over the top-ranked Brampton Steelheads. The Ice Dogs, check this out, now 4-0 in the season, and he is leading the way with 6 goals and 11 points in 4 games. If he keeps up the pace, he'll have 102 goals, 187 points by season's end.
1-2 pitch to Castellanos. Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series.
What a ball game from Philly as Nick Castellanos, 2-out single in the bottom of the ninth, propelled his Phillies to a thrilling 7-6 win over their rivals, the New York Mets, and even the NLDS at a game apiece. The back and forth game had a little bit of everything as the series now shifts to the Big Apple for Game 3 tomorrow.
First one to Mookie Betts is lifted in the air to left field. It sends Profar back, tiptoeing to the corner. He's at the wall. It is
not gone. The other NLDS matchup between two teams that do not like each other had plenty of activity, like Jerkson Profar fooling everybody who thought Mookie Betts' big fly had left the park, but he was able to pull it back. And that was just the start for the Padres, who would hit 6 home runs themselves, 2 from Fernando Tatis Jr. as San Diego heads home with the series tied at 1 after a 10-2 win over the Dodgers. Game 2 from the 2 ALDS games, they happened today.
Snap, placement, sweeps the leg, Fairbairn, it's gone!
Yeah, Bills Mafia not happy this morning after a tough loss in Houston to the Texans. Their second straight loss is Kaimimi Fairbairn hit a 59-yard field goal to lift Houston to the 23-20 win. Bills came back from 17 down to tie it, but a late 3rd and out drive by the Bills set up the game-winning score. Bills, they fall to 3-2. And finally, we all had our eyes on the Miami Dolphins, who had a tough start to the season, but came through yesterday with a sloppy but important win over the New England Patriots. Alex Ingold, he would score the go-ahead touchdown with 4 minutes left as the Finns hold on for the 15-10 win. Special win as they move to 2-3 in the season, while the Pats sit last in the East at 1-4.
Coming up on 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, it's Monday, 7th of October. Let's get you into this Monday morning here. Looking at traffic, first of all, 403 Waterdown Road, moving a little slowly, Toronto bound, coming out of Hamilton, normal volume. All right, to our MTO traffic cameras. We'll start in St. Catharines, QEW at Martindale, doing fine. Toronto bound lanes heading away from us on this particular camera. Same here at Nikola Tesla Boulevard, still no problems. Fairview Street on the other side of the Skyway, doing fine. Same with the Ford plant. We're not seeing any problems, even all the way through to the 427 Gardner QEW combination. Looks good. We have had a little bit of a light shower this morning, so some roads could be a touch damp. Temperature at the moment sitting at 10 degrees. We've come down actually a couple of degrees this hour from 12 last hour. Light winds, high relative humidity, and a partly cloudy sky to start. So for school today, we're going to hit 16 degrees, which is around seasonal for this time of year, maybe a degree above, but there is it's a 40% chance of a shower late this morning into the afternoon hours, and a bit of a westerly breeze picking up. Not quite as strong as it was yesterday. Yesterday we had gusts to almost 60 kilometers an hour. You're going to notice a little bit of cloud cover and on and off disturbance of some showers, and that's going to happen today, tomorrow, even into Wednesday. So as we get into this week here, we're going to see a chance of showers, but again, not a great chance of showers. Today, 16, 17, and 18 degrees. There's that 40% chance of showers. Some areas will see a little more sunshine than others for the day today. Tonight, again, there's a chance of showers in some areas, particularly into Halton, Peel, Toronto. The rest of us, temperatures 5, 6 to even 10 degrees for Niagara, 9 for Toronto. And then tomorrow, 15 and 16, pretty much again, mix of sun and clouds, again, chance of a shower. So that instability kind of hangs around for the day tomorrow, and it'll even hang around into Wednesday as well. So out the door, 7th morning of October. It now is partly cloudy, winds are light, temperature at the moment sitting at 10. And we'll look at the long-range forecast, of course, coming up for you. Annette, Tim.
All right, thanks, Brian. Off and running on your Monday morning. Coming up after the break, we're going to check in with Emily Vukovic, who is here with a preview of what's going on in CHCH.
And some meat products sold in Ontario being recalled because of possible listeria contamination. The details coming up.
Hey, there's Emily Vukovic.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Good morning. Well, on the first edition of Chit Chat, we're going to be talking about stuff that's on the big screen and the small screen. Charlie Puth, we talked about his show coming out on Roku last week, but apparently he's ad-libbing a lot of it, and a lot of people are not happy with him.
Charlie
Puth. Puth. Charlie
We were
Puth.
just saying that a lot last week.
Okay.
It's just so fun to poof. Anyways, okay, moving on. We're also talking about the Joker, Folie et Deux, and how reviews are doing it a little dirty in the box office.
Yeah.
And Pharrell Williams, he's checking his ego for his new Lego movie. We'll talk about that as well.
Good stuff. Okay, we'll see you on the couch in a little bit. Let's get into business news on this Monday. We always start with a look at the numbers, specifically our Canadian dollar. It is down 6 basis points, trading at 73.59 cents US. Gold up over $3, $26.70 an ounce. Crude oil up $1.45, 75.83 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. In Europe, markets are up slightly in London, but down in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia today, markets saw triple-digit gains in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. And in North American markets on Friday, the TSX also up almost 200 points, and triple-digit gains on Wall Street as well.
Okay, glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Let's get into business news now. And the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has issued a recall for dozens of brands of beef jelly tongue products sold in Ontario because of possible listeria contamination. They were sold in stores in London, Kitchener-Waterloo, and throughout the GTA. While the meat may not look or smell spoiled, listeria contamination, it may still be present. And bacteria can cause vomiting, nausea, fever, muscle aches, severe headaches, and neck stiffness. It is a significant health risk for some.
Air Canada pilots are expected to wrap up their voting on a new contract this week. The head of the Air Canada Pilots Union says she will step down if its members decide not to approve the tentative deal that addressed pilots' wage concerns. The contract would grant the 5,400 pilots at the country's largest airline a wage hike of 42%. That's over 4 years. The ratification vote started last Tuesday. It will finish on Thursday.
Canada's Supreme Court unanimously upheld Canada's air passenger protection regulations. In the decision, the court wrote there is no indication that Canada or any other state party agreed to forego its ability to provide for minimum standards of treatment for passengers within its jurisdiction. Air Canada and Porter, they were among a coalition of international airlines that said the Canadian Transportation Agency overstepped its authority in creating the Air Passengers Bill of Rights regulations. Those regulations include compensation to passengers for delays, cancellations, or have been denied boarding.
Following similar action that it took with Canada, Google says it's going to stop links to New Zealand news sites if a new law passes there, forcing it to pay for content. The law would force tech companies to pay for articles on their platforms. The threat from Google follows similar moves in Australia and Canada. Google and Meta had vowed to cease their support when Canada introduced digital news bargaining laws last year, before Google promised to contribute $100 million a year for news businesses across the country.
EU countries have voted to impose duties on China EVs, which, if imposed, would follow similar action from the United States and here in Canada. Talks are continuing between Brussels and Beijing to end the standoff before an end of October deadline, as EVs have become a flashpoint in a broader trade dispute over the influence of Chinese government subsidies on European markets. The duties will come into force coming up the end of this month, October the 31st, unless China finds a solution to end the standoff with China-EU technical teams due to resume negotiations today.
Okay, we are taking a quick break right now. Brian's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Let's get you going here on this Monday morning. Just about 6:24. Checking traffic, MTOs. These are the QEW area around Glendale Avenue. Doing fine on both directions. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. All of a sudden starting to slow down, starting to see some volume across the bridge. Volume here at Third Line is building as well. A little slow at Lorne Park. There's so much construction as you continue through Mississauga. We'll dip into Mississauga at the 403 at Burnhamthorpe. That's all right. So not a lot happening, just a little bit slow as far as volume building so far today. Temperature this morning, as I said, our Hamilton temperature has just fallen a couple of degrees, now sitting at 10, 13 Mississauga, 14 for Grimsby and for Toronto. So seasonals this time of year, 6 for an overnight low, so 10. That's not bad. 16 is what we're going to get to today, but 15 is the seasonal daytime high, so close. Those are our sun times. Yeah, it doesn't come up till 7:25 now, and our records for today. We could see a shower for the day today. So for school this morning, 10 degrees by the first bell. Not too much change in temperature, but some sun, some clouds, chance of a shower, and then 16 for after school. And that's the way the day is going to go. Chance of showers in 16. 7 degrees tonight, so a little bit cooler. 15 tomorrow, chance of showers. Chance of showers again Wednesday as the temperature comes down. High of only 12 on Wednesday. And then we're into some sunshine. So sunshine for Thursday and 14, better for Friday and Saturday, 17 and 19, and chance of a shower on Sunday. That's your forecast.
Okay, this is kind of a fun study. New research suggests that dolphins might smile at each other when they're playing.
Italian and French scientists studied nearly 24 dolphins. Well, they played on their own, with each other, and with their human trainers. So they found that dolphins almost always made an open mouth expression comparable to a smile while they were playing with each other, rather than with humans or by themselves. Researchers say this suggests it is a form of communication. Now, they believe dolphins do it to stop their games from turning into a fight due to miscommunication.
If I could do any research, scientific research, it would be on dolphins.
I know.
They're just so much fun.
Well, because you can communicate with dolphins, can't you? There you go.
There we go.
Right?
I'm smiling.
That's the reason.
I don't want any miscommunication.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Did you see any dolphins on your trip?
No.
No dolphins?
No, very disappointed.
Right?
Very
Okay.
disappointed.
Well, we're not disappointed. We're glad that you're back. Look at
Thank you.
producing in the first half hour. Huh? Perfect half hour. How you feeling? Good?
Think so.
Okay, nice. All right.
Still no idea what time it is
Yes.
on my body clock.
Well, it is 6:26. We're going to take a break. Good morning. We'll be back with lots more coming up. Starting a fresh new week here on in October.
Yeah.
Right after this.